Welcome back, everybody. It's Friday and time for Kids Under Construction. Donna Tatro joining us for our weekly conversations on parenting. Today we're talking about friendships and managing them. It's more important than ever before for our kids. So Donna is joining us from LA via Zoom, and also joining us today is Jessica Spears. She's the author of the new book, BFF or Not Really Friends, NRF, A Girl's Guide to Happy Friendships. Donna and Jessica, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Emily.
To chat with you.
Okay, Jessica, let's start with you. Why are friendships and social struggles so common in preteen and teen years? This is such an important question, and unfortunately, I feel like I experienced it back when I was in that age group, along with pretty much everybody else, right?
Absolutely, and that's actually what inspired this book. Is I have two young daughters, and they hit that stage. Usually starts maybe around middle to late elementary school, where struggles started to emerge. So I dove in. I was so curious. I'm a background social scientist, so I was curious, what is that all about? And when I started digging, there is a lot going on that explains why that's happening. So in addition to puberty starting to kick in and ramping up emotions, this is a phase where girls are starting to pull away from their parents as their primary, sense of identity and support. So there's a lot more weight on finding good friends. At the same time, they're starting to really, dig into their identity. Who are they? Where do they fit in? Where do they belong? So all those things starts to create this period of immense change for girls. And so it's not too big of a surprise that struggles start to arise.
And Jessica, you describe in the book the friendship pyramid. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so one thing I added, this book grew out of a friendship program I ran for girls, which I threw in there a lot of truths about friendship that I'm hoping will help girls navigate this, bumpy phase. And so the friendship pyramid, looks like a pyramid. At the very tip, there's close friends, and what the friendship pyramid describes is those friends are really hard to find, and we know as adults that they're pretty rare. So sometimes, especially in the preteen and the teen years, we might have periods of time where we don't actually have any of those, but they're out there. We just got to keep looking. We'll find them, but sometimes we don't have that right fit. But underneath that, there's a much larger block to the period where they're just friends. So these are teammates and neighbors and people that, we might not have as tight of a connection with, but we consider them friends. And at the very base of the pyramid, the widest, biggest part are acquaintances. So all sorts of possible new friends out there. So the friendship period really opens girls' minds to, let's stay open to this. There's going to be changes in our friendship, and there's a lot of people out there that we have the opportunity to meet that could grow into friends.
Okay, I love that. Let's talk about something that gets a little more difficult to navigate, and that is, what's the difference between conflict and bullying, and why is it so important that we understand the difference?
Yeah, good question. So we've done such a great job educating kids about bullying that sometimes things that fall more into a conflict bucket get assigned as bullying. So how we know when things are bullying that we can share with our daughters and sons is it's intentional, it's repeated, and it's pretty aggressive. So it's pretty cruel. So this can happen online or in person. And if it falls into those three things, it needs to stop. And kids need to find a way to make that stop, whether they need adult assistance, but that needs to stop. But what's much more common and often might be named bullying is conflict. And that's just a struggle or clash between people or groups. And so once we're talking about conflict, we have a lot more options there. And so in the book, I go into all sorts of ways that you can deal with conflict. And it's going to depend, on the conflict, and it's depend on the person as to how they want to navigate that situation.
And Jessica, I'm wondering, from the parent perspective, how can we help? I mean, these are tweens and teens that we're talking about. Do we need to back off a little bit? Kind of like when the kids are younger, we're kind of engaged more in helping them through these situations. Do we need to back off at this point?
I would say back off on the advice. So this is a period that we all go through. And as I described some of those reasons earlier as to why it's kind of filled with discomfort and change, it's just part of that phase. But where parents can really help is by some active listening. So letting their daughters, and this applies to sons too, letting them really vent and share. And without judgment, without jumping in with advice, parents can listen. And sometimes we know as adults, just by talking through things, we start to get some clarity. So for parents, I would say it's so easy to get caught up in the emotions and the struggles of our kids. Try really hard to stay just grounded, be there, empathize, listen, support them as much as you can. Expect that, there's going to be a lot of changes and struggle, but they'll make it through it. And if you are concerned, don't hesitate to get support, pull in the school counselor or another professional.
Jessica, this is so great. Where can we find this book and learn more about all these ideas you're sharing with us?
It's available anywhere books are sold now. So it's available at your local, you could order it from your local indie. It's on Amazon, Target, and you can learn more about me on my website or connect on social media. It's jessicaspear.com.
Okay, Jessica, thanks so much. And of course, Donna Tatro joins us every Monday and Friday. We appreciate you as always. We say goodbye to both of you and do remind everyone you can check out Donna's podcast online at abc4.com, Kids Under Construction. And if you got a question for Donna, send it over to us, kidsunderconstruction at abc4.com. Ladies, thanks so much and have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks, Emily.